Linda Darnell was an American actress who graced the silver screen with her performances from the 1930s to the 1960s. She was known for her beauty and her roles in films like Forever Amber and A Letter to Three Wives. As you remember Linda Darnell, think about these questions. Is there a particular moment from one of her works that has stayed with you over time? Maybe a scene, a line, or a gesture that you find unforgettable. Or perhaps you have a personal memory related to Linda Darnell that brings a smile to your face. We would love to hear your stories and memories in the comments below. Stay tuned, as we have many interesting facts about her life, including funny, shocking, and sad moments that you won't want to miss. Share your most treasured memory or personal experience related to this classic star with us. Linda Darnell was a star of the silver screen whose performances captivated audiences during the golden age of Hollywood. Born in 1923, she rose to fame with her striking beauty and talent, becoming one of the most sought-after actresses of her time. Her role in the 1947 film Forever Amber solidified her status as a leading lady. Darnell's ability to bring depth to her characters made her a favorite among directors and fans alike. Her work remains a testament to her skill and a significant part of film history. Linda Darnell's legacy lives on through her films, which continue to be watched and appreciated by new generations. Linda Darnell's portrayal of Laura Mee Hollingsway in A Letter to Three Wives showcased her acting skills as she navigated the complex emotions of her character. The film featured memorable scenes, including a boat ride on the Hudson River and a secluded parking spot, which highlighted the rural beauty of the setting. In My Darling Clementine, Darnell transformed into Chihuahua, a role that required her to lose 12 pounds, demonstrating her dedication to her craft. Her performance was so compelling that it was brought to the airwaves in a radio adaptation of A Letter to Three Wives, where she once again joined Paul Douglas to bring their characters to life for listeners on November 3, 1949. Linda Darnell's dedication to her craft was evident when she took on the role of Stella in Fallen Angel. To authentically portray her character, she immersed herself in the life of a waitress serving in the Fox commissary for a week. Her commitment to realism helped her deliver a memorable performance. Earlier in her career, Darnell was set to appear in an adaptation of The Blue Lagoon, a role that would have showcased her as a young Emmeline, similar to Brooke Shields in the 1980 version. However, the outbreak of World War II halted the project. When the film was revisited in 1946, Darnell expressed interest in the adult version of Emmeline, but was denied the opportunity to audition by Daryl F. Zanuck. This decision prevented her from potentially taking on a transformative role that could have added a new dimension to her career. In another instance, Darnell's performance in Fallen Angel was so impactful that it overshadowed Alice Faye's role, leading to Faye's abrupt departure from 20th Century Fox. This incident underscores the unpredictable nature of the film industry, where the editing process can significantly alter the prominence of an actor's performance. Linda Darnell brought to life the character of Chihuahua in My Darling Clementine, where she performed a white sombrero in a memorable bar scene. Her role in The Mark of Zorro saw her character engaging in a dance to a guitar rendition of the same song, alongside Tyrone Power. In A Letter to Three Wives, she portrayed Laura Mee Hollingsway and later reprised this role for a radio adaptation. Her career also included the role of Eddie Johnson in No Way Out. Off-screen, Darnell faced a life-threatening car accident during production, a harrowing event that foreshadowed her untimely death in a fire years later. Linda Darnell's life and her roles on screen shared a tragic connection through fire. As Tupta Minana and the King of Siam, she met a fiery end, a fate that echoed in her own life years later. At the age of 41, Linda succumbed to injuries from a house fire. The blaze, which broke out while she was staying with friends, trapped her as she attempted to escape. Despite efforts to save her, she passed away in the hospital, having suffered extensive burns. Earlier in her career, at just 16, she portrayed Lolita Quintero in The Mark of Zorro, opposite Tyrone Power, who was a decade her senior. Her youthful talent shone through, marking the beginning of her journey in Hollywood. Linda Darnell's journey in the film Forever Amber began with an early morning birth and led to a pivotal role that defined her career. Initially, Gene Tierney was in line for the lead role of Amber St. Clair, but her disinterest in the script opened the door for Darnell. During filming, Darnell worked closely with Pepperell Marley, her former husband. This collaboration not only brought them back together professionally, but also personally as they reconciled and credited the film's production with saving their relationship. Linda Darnell's casting as the Virgin Mary in the Song of Bernadette sparked debates due to her known lively social life overshadowing Loretta Young, who was initially expected to play the role. Despite the author Franz Werfel's objections and Darnell's pregnancy, the studio proceeded with her for the part, presenting her in a more adorned costume than the historical Bernadette's description. In Fallen Angel, Darnell portrayed Stella, engaging in a turbulent on-screen relationship with Dana Andrews, a dynamic they revisited 12 years later in 0 Hour, as a couple facing separation. Her role as Laura Mee Hollingsway in A Letter to Three Wives featured a house that vibrated with each train's passing, a detail taken from director Joseph L. Mankiewicz's own experiences growing up in New York City, where conversations paused for the 3rd Avenue elevated train. Linda Darnell's portrayal of Sylvia Smith in It Happened Tomorrow reached audiences through radio, with a special adaptation by the Screen Guild Theater. Her role as Laura Mee Hollingsway in A Letter to Three Wives showcased her talent, leading to another collaboration with director Joseph L. Mankiewicz in No Way Out. In Fallen Angel, she played Stella, a character connected to the song Slowly, which, although performed by Alice Faye in a scene that was cut, became associated with Darnell's character as it played on the jukebox in the film's final version. The song, recorded by Dick Haymes, gained further recognition through its inclusion in a compilation celebrating Haymes' work. Linda Darnell's performances in these roles contributed to her standing as a respected actress of her time. Linda Darnell's role as Chihuahua in My Darling Clementine came her way after Diana Douglas was passed over due to the producer's preference for Darnell's appearance. This casting choice linked her to the iconic Western genre, as her co-star's former husband, Kirk Douglas, would later portray Doc Holliday in Gunfight at the OK Corral. Off-screen, Darnell faced personal challenges, struggling with alcoholism throughout her career. Her portrayal of Laura Mee Hollingsway in A Letter to Three Wives highlighted the age disparities among the cast, with significant differences between the actors and their on-screen partners, underscoring the often overlooked aspects of casting choices in Hollywood's golden era. Linda Darnell's dedication to her roles was evident when she played Virginia Clem in The Loves of Edgar Allan Poe. She had to delay filming to regain weight for her costumes. Her portrayal of Laura Mee Hollingsway in A Letter to Three Wives was so well received that a radio adaptation aired in 1952 with Darnell and Paul Douglas voicing their original characters. Darnell and Douglas also shared the screen in Everybody Does It, and The Guy Who Came Back, showcasing their dynamic on-screen partnership. Linda Darnell's life off-screen included becoming a mother to Charlotte Mildred Adams, who she and her then-husband J. Peveril Marley adopted shortly after Charlotte's birth in early 1948. Despite her glamorous career, Darnell had a surprising challenge. She was allergic to horses, a fact that might have posed difficulties given the number of westerns produced during her era. On the silver screen, she captivated audiences as Amber St. Clair in the film Forever Amber. The role was significant not only for her performance, but also for the changes it brought to the cast. Vincent Price was initially cast opposite Peggy Cummins, but when Darnell took over the lead, Richard Green became her co-star. Linda Darnell's performances reached Italian audiences through the voices of Lydia Simonski or Digia Cristiani, except for once when Paola Barber dubbed her in The Mark of Zorro. In A Letter to Three Wives, to capture a scornful expression from Darnell, Joseph L. Mankiewicz cleverly used a photo of Otto Preminger, recalling the challenging experience she had under his direction during Forever Amber. Darnell's role as Lolita Quintero in The Mark of Zorro marked her third collaboration with Tyrone Power, showcasing their dynamic on-screen chemistry. Linda Darnell's portrayal of the Virgin Mary in The Song of Bernadette was a significant role in her career, especially considering the competition for the part. In My Darling Clementine, she played Chihuahua, a character that brought her into the creative orbit of director John Ford. Despite Ford's initial reservations about the casting, Darnell's performance stood out. Beyond her on-screen work, Darnell shared a personal connection with Lana Turner, serving as a witness at Turner's wedding to Stephen Crane, highlighting her close relationships within the film industry. Linda Darnell's portrayal of Laura Mee Hollingsway in A Letter to Three Wives was a significant role in her career. During the film's production, she and director Joseph L. Mankiewicz developed a romantic relationship. Despite her strong feelings for him, Mankiewicz remained with his wife. He later spoke highly of Darnell, despite acknowledging her struggles. The film itself had an interesting journey, initially planned in 1946 with a different cast and title. It was only after Mankiewicz revised the script that it moved forward with Darnell in the lead. In Blood and Sand, Darnell played Carmen Espinosa, joining a cast of talented actors whose lives were sadly shortened. Their collective talent left a lasting impression on cinema, despite their tragic fates. Linda Darnell's journey in Hollywood saw her stepping into roles that became defining moments in her career. She took over the role of Amber St. Clair in Forever Amber after Peggy Cummins was released from the project, making a lasting impression with her performance. In Fallen Angel, despite Alice Faye's dissatisfaction with the editing that favored Darnell's character Stella, it was Linda's portrayal that stood out, leading to Faye's departure from 20th Century Fox. The film's costumes, originally designed for Cummins and later adapted for Darnell, underscored the lavish production, with Renee Hubert's designs costing a total of $90,000. Linda Darnell's talent shone through these roles, marking her as a memorable figure in the film industry. Linda Darnell's portrayal of Carmen Espinosa in Blood and Sand marked her final collaboration with Tyrone Power, a partnership that included daytime wife Brigham Young and The Mark of Zorro. In The Letter to Three Wives, she brought to life Laura Mee Hollingsway, reuniting with Ann Sothern, her co-star from Hotel for Women. Darnell's role as Stella in Fallen Angel was so compelling that she reprised it for a radio adaptation by Lux Radio Theater, bringing the character's complexities to listeners across the airwaves. Linda Darnell's life ended tragically when she was only 41 years old. She died in a house fire in Chicago. Despite her success on the silver screen, her personal life was fraught with challenges, including failed marriages and financial troubles. Her untimely death was a loss to the film industry, as she had been a talented actress who starred in a variety of roles across different genres. Darnell's passing reminds us of the unpredictable nature of life and the fact that personal struggles often lie behind a public facade of success.